My peoples, my peoples, welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. We talking boxing, y'all. First of all, let me give a shout out to everybody tuning in on Box Center 2.0, on Box Center with Jay Smith. Y'all know what it is, man. My brother JJ Zendejas is in the building, Toy Mafia side. Everybody tuning in, man. I appreciate y'all. You know what we about to do. We had a great fight between two women who went at it, my peoples. Come on now. Amanda Serrano and Reina Tellez gave us a heck of a fight. Heck of a fight, my people. Come on now. The way that they went at it, the action. Okay, it looks like we got a dummy in the building. Let's get the dummy out of here. We don't need dummies. Too early in the morning. So my peoples, Reina Tellez, whoa, her stock went up in a loss. Prior to Saturday, most of us never seen a fight. Most of us didn't know who she was. Yet, today a lot of us know the name, Reina Tellez. JJ said, let's get him the fuck out of here. You know we don't got time for the goofballery on a Monday morning. And by the way, yeah, let me say that, my people. Good morning to everybody. Remember to hit that like button. In 2026, we hitting that like button. We not ghost watching anymore. We not sneak hating anymore. We double tapping that screen. But listen, my peoples. Amanda Serrano is one of the best to ever do it in women's boxing. That's not even up for debate. Right? We understand that. So, when you take that into consideration, she's going to face an opponent in Reina Tellez, who's 22 years old, never fought for a title, 13 professional fights. People are expecting Reina Tellez to get washed. That's just the reality. That's the way that it's supposed to happen. That's the way, my peoples, that it's supposed to happen. Reina Tellez was supposed to get cooked, washed, stopped, all of it. She showed up to the fight with different plans. That simple. Reina Tellez was not there to survive. She was not there to make it or happy to be there. You could see that she was trying to win this fight. And I would say one of the most consistent weapons that she brought into this fight was the left hook. Kept landing it. I kept pointing that out. Kept landing it over Amanda Serrano's right jab. Bam, she kept going over it with the left hook. And eventually you saw the wear and tear in Amanda Serrano's face. Ultimately, the champion won the fight. Fair and square. But it was a very good, very competitive fight. And people just didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. It's like I said, when you look at Amanda Serrano's, one of the best female boxers ever, and you see Reina Tellez, who you don't know, 13 professional fights, like, okay, she might hang around for a few rounds, maybe even make it interesting, but let's be realistic. No one expected, or no one outside of Reina Tellez's team expected for this fight to go the distance and play out the way that it did. So, salute to Reina Tellez and her team for, just think about it, man. She had 2 weeks to prepare for this fight. She got the call late replacement, 2 weeks, 22-year-old girl with 13 professional fights, and you get to face the best, one of the best to ever do it. That's, you got to give this young lady her props. You got to give her props because this was a heck of a fight. And she fought somebody who brings to the table. Man, I'm looking at the replay now, and you can see Tay's consistency with going to the body. Her consistency with returning fire. Because that's the one thing that you see in boxing. Somebody who's, world champion, been up there, been doing it, and then a younger fighter shows up and the lights are too bright. And they just can't do what they normally do. They get stuck and they go more into defensive mode and stop letting their hands fly. Reina Tellez never stopped punching throughout this fight, the whole 10 rounds. Jay is in his first Monday of 2026. You know it, baby. She was not there for the payday. Nah, man, she was there to win. That's the difference between a fighter who loses, but they really wasn't trying to win. They was trying to survive. And a fighter who loses, but they was trying to win and they was putting in work. They was doing, like, I'll give you an example. If that wasn't Amanda Serrano's, a lesser fighter would not have taken as much punishment as Serrano's took in this win. Look at her eye. Serrano took some shots. Is that she's a warrior. I compared, and I've done it before, Amanda Serrano's to Evander Holyfield in the approach. Because she's the type of fighter that if you hit her and you're catching her with good shots, that's not going to deter her from doing what she does. So you landing some good shots on Serrano is not going to mean that she's not going to be, slow down and not be as active on you and not put all them type of hands. Nah. She's going to keep punching. She's going to keep letting them hands fly. But I have to tell you, my peoples, Amanda Serrano was probably not expecting that tough of a fight. I mean, I don't know. I can't go into her mind. I can't guess what she was thinking. But could she have expected that this young girl, this 22-year-old girl with 13 fights, was going to take her the distance in a slugfest? I don't know. Wes Dussett. Yo, I'm late like Tank. Peace, J. Smith. Peace, Chad. Good morning. Salute, my brother. Now, you're not late. We just kicking this thing off, my G. We just started right now. I heard that this fight was all fireworks. Oh, bro, 10 rounds of a slugfest. They went at it. The thing is, Amanda Serrano's was her usual self. Kept applying pressure, kept going forward, kept letting the hands fly consistently. That's what she does. But Tellez never stopped firing back. You will see one thing that I liked about this fight is that Tellez, this was a slugfest, right? But this wasn't rock'em sock'em. We just standing in front of each other. Tellez using her lateral movement, Serrano cutting off the ring, going forward. Tellez standing her ground, pam, trading leather, using more lateral movement. Serrano's applying more pressure. So it was the ebb and flow where there was movement and now we trading. And then some more movement, now we trading. And it was that type of fight. Wes does. I'm excited to watch the replay. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it. That's why I've been telling people, man. And I'm happy to hear that you're excited about the rematch. I've been telling people, the whole notion that women's boxing is boring and the women's boxing, you're a goofball. You're not watching. If you're saying that you're not actually watching, look, I'm actually watching the replay right now as we speak. And I'm seeing, man, I wish I could share it with y'all. And I'm seeing these young ladies just trading leather. Yo, during the fight, I was like, yo, they look like the men out there. We looking at, the technicality, the movement, the punches being landed, the exchanges. Top notch. JJ's in there. Chess match, firefight. Oh. Wes Dustin, okay, women's boxing really coming together. Yeah, man, they do. And here's a part of all this that's also exciting, Wes Dustin. The way that Reina Tellez lost this fight to a world championship caliber fighter, an iconic fighter, and she made it that type of fight, I can tell you right now, she's going to cause disruption in women's boxing. So I'm already looking out for Reina Tellez. I'm telling you that right now. I'm excited to see. Think about it like this. And Reina Tellez is somebody that we don't know. A lot of us never even heard of her. Yet today, a lot of people talking about her. A lot of people know her name. Look, let me give you an example. Look at the difference between the way that Reina Tellez lost to Amanda Serrano versus the way that Edgar Berlanga lost to Canelo Alvarez. Look at the difference in those two losses. Berlanga seemed like he was trying to survive versus Canelo. I'm going to go the distance. I'm not trying to get stopped. Tellez was out there like, I'm trying to whoop your ass. Trying to bait your ass. I'm trying to hurt you. And you can see it. Look at Amanda. Look. Yo, Wes Dustin, check this out. Throughout the fight, you know that Serrano's is a southpaw. Throughout the fight, she would shoot the right jab, and Tellez will go over it with the check hook. Bang! A bunch of times, bang! As she was coming in. And I pointed that out. Kept saying, yo, she's catching her with that check left hook consistently. And by the mid-rounds, you started to see the wear and tear. And look how she ended up. So, if this young lady at 22 years old with only 13 professional fights, 2 weeks notice, left one of the greatest female fighters looking like this, you got to look out for her. You got to see what she's going to do. I'm already telling y'all, Reina Tellez is going to cause disruption. And she's going to get a lot better after this fight. This fight is going to make her a better fighter. Corey B. Charlo versus Canelo was about survival also. That's a fact. That's a fact. There was no point in that fight where you felt like, oh shit, Charlo's trying to take it from him. Charlo's trying to beat him. Nah. It looked like he was trying to survive and go the distance. That's what I tell you guys, and you know I said this before. There's fighters, when they lose, their stock rises. You know whose stock went up in the loss? Sam Noakes. Why? Because he took Abdullah Mason to the limit. Abdullah had to raise higher than he's ever raised his bar. He's done more than he ever had to do to get that win. That shows you what Sam Noakes is. He made Abdullah go to the highest limit that he ever been to walk out of there with that win. So Sam Noakes is for real. You can expect him to become a world champion. I do. I tell you right now, I see Sam Noakes. I'm not saying he's going to rematch Abdullah and beat him. That's not happening. But everybody's not beating Sam Noakes. Just know that. So when I look at Reina Tellez, And the way that she performed with Amanda Serrano's, she problems. She's problems. So follow Reina Tellez, follow her journey, and support my peoples. That's all I'm saying. Support this fighter because she's gonna go on to do her thing. And of course, Amanda Serrano. Yesterday I was saying that maybe she should consider retirement. Um, this was a good win, but here's the reason why I said that. And by the way, my peoples, hit that in 2026. Y'all know we hitting that like button. Y'all know we done with the ghost watching, with the sneak hating. Hit the like button on Box Center 2.0 and hit the like button on Box Center with Jay Smith. So here's why I say, Shakur Hand, salute my brother. Here's why I say that Amanda Serrano should consider retiring. If you take a look at her last few fights, she's been in wars. Not just her last few fights. Amanda Serrano has been in a lot of wars. And this was no different. Reina Tellez gave her, everything she could handle. She had to dig deep. She's applying pressure, but look at the wear and tear in her face. She took some nasty punishment on the way to this win. This wasn't an easy one. So all I'm saying is Amanda Serrano has 44 professional fights. She's, 40-some professional fights. 4 losses. That's not bad. She has a great resume, great wins, lots of accomplishments. But that that wear and tear adds up. All that punishment adds up. So I don't want to see Amanda Serrano become one of these fighters who end up with some type of brain damage, who she got to stay away from the cameras because she can't talk right, or just damage that she's not the same person and is not able to enjoy a good quality of life because of it. I don't want to see that happen to her. So I know that she's making a lot of money right now. Jake Paul is treating her real good. She's the flagship fighter of MVP. She's the one who opened up the whole thing. And now look where they're at. So you got to give Amanda Serrano her flowers. I think Jake Paul can say, look, let me put you in a crazy role within MVP promotions because you are MVP. And let's keep you on, keep giving you these big checks. And you don't have to fight anymore. That's my perspective. For the reasons I just said, her health. But Amanda Serrano looks like she is going to keep fighting. And whenever she steps in the ring, I'm going to support her. There you have it. Corey B, I think you're right. It's time to retire. So here's a point that somebody made yesterday, and I get that too. They told me, Jay, you got to understand. She signed with MVP, got her first $1 million purse, and has had a couple of big fights. She, after a long career, she finally got in that spotlight and is making that type of money. So does she really want to walk away now when she's getting what she's never had in such a long career? So obviously she might want to stay and extend that as long as she can, extend how much money she's going to make, her popularity. Because, the more you extend your popularity, obviously, the more opportunities you're going to have after boxing. I understand all that. But I think your health is above all of that. You don't want to have your brain be messed up in the pursuit of riches, in the pursuit of more money. Because that's the thing. We live in an era where people want more money, more money. Who's getting the most money? Who's got the biggest house? Who's got the most cars? Who's got the most chains? Who's got... Come on now. So as long as, she's taken care of, which right now I'm pretty sure she's financially good, I think retirement is something that she should consider because of her health. You got to decide when it's time to go, right? Look at Terrence Crawford. He didn't really have to retire, if you think about it. He had an objective. That objective kind of went sideways, and he said, you know what, I'm retiring. But part of that decision to retire is Terrence Crawford being 38 years old, going on 39. That's part of the decision-making process. Hold on, I'm this age. I'm not going to continue to just take punishment to make people happy. Because that's one thing that fans don't understand. Even when you win, you take a lot of punishment. Look at Amanda Serrano right now after her W over Tellez. She took a lot of punishment. Look at her face. Look at her eye. So it's not that you don't want to fight because you think you're going to lose. It's that you're like, yo, I got mad money. I don't need to take this type of punishment anymore. I'm good. Why am I going to get punched in the face with all these millions of dollars that I got right here? All these investments, all these properties, all these endorsements. I don't need to get punched in the face. So I think Jake Paul, MVP, they can have Amanda Serrano in a position where she still gets to make millions of dollars without having to climb in the ring anymore. That's it. She's a legend. She's the best, one of the best female fighters of all time, and without a shred of doubt, the best Puerto Rican fighter, female, of all time. I don't like to make the argument about female and male because it's two separate, two separate sports. Same sport is boxing, but I'm talking about when we're competing. It's different. So I've never been into that women and men, let's compare them to each other. We compare women to women, men to men. And Amanda Serrano is one of the best female fighters of all time and the best female fighter from Puerto Rico ever. I don't think there's anyone in Puerto Rico that'll make an argument otherwise. Corey B, the older you get, the harder it is to recover from injury. That's a fact. But you don't surprise me, Corey B. You're always coming through with the facts. And let me just say this. You guys remember, my professional debut and my only fight was at 44 years old. A four-rounder. Four-rounder. And if you watch it, it was competitive. We went back and forth. For days, I had headaches. For days, I was throwing up. For days, just turning on the light in my house, I had headaches. Imagine people going 12 rounds, rock'em sock'em robot. You know how, you think people just hide because they don't want you to see how they look? They fucked up in the game, healing, recovering. So the older you get, the longer it takes to recover and the more difficult it is. That is a fact. Wes Dustin, for most, it's more of a lifestyle than a job. Tough to walk away from your identity. That's facts. And let me just say this. Boxing is a sport that once you participate in it, and I would say probably other combat sports feel the same way. I'm not sure. But boxing, once you step in and you trade leather with somebody like competitively, and somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose, you always want to do it. Even when you can't do it anymore. But you want to. You really want to. Think about this for a second. Imagine in a world where guns, knives, baseball bats, any weapon don't exist. The only thing that you can do is fight somebody with your fist. You don't think there will be a fist fight all over the place all the time? That would happen. Fist fights stopped because now if you punch somebody in the face, you don't know if they're going to pull out a gun or a knife. That's just the reality. So, but that's called handling it like gentlemen. I wish we could just go back to the old school. And if we don't like each other, we could go have this little quick fist fight, little fisticuffs, and shake hands after, and it's all good. That's it. That's just not the world we live in anymore. But fist fights has been the most popular thing ever until other shit made it too dangerous to get into a fist fight. And that's where you go into boxing. Nothing is going to replace that because it's very similar to what you do outside. It's a primal instinct, but now we're doing it in competitive fashion. That's why you might see a washed up fighter who got money, but he still want to get in the ring. Why you fighting? You got money. Because I love to fight. I want to fight. I want to get that feeling of being in the ring with somebody and we trading leather. We punching each other until somebody wins. Or we go the distance. Look, I'm 47 years old, my peoples. If I can get an opponent, y'all going to see me fighting. It's hard. It might not happen. I may never fight again. But if I get an opponent, you're going to see me fighting again. For sure. JJ's in the house. Exactly, J. Smith. Once you get that high, you don't want to come down. And fighters stay in too long. That's part of the reason why they stay too long. Because they want to keep fighting. And another thing is, boxing is different than other sports because than other, and I don't mean just boxing, combat sports is different than other sports because, for example, if you're a basketball player and you're super fast, for example, and you're always cutting everybody off, driving to the lane and you know, getting those layups, well, when you get older, you simply adjust your game, and now you're shooting them fadeaways, now you're shooting them jump shots, now you're doing different things because you don't have the speed to drive in anymore. But you can still play, and you can still be effective. In boxing, if you don't got that speed anymore, they're gonna beat your ass up. You see? They're gonna beat them up. In basketball, you're just gonna shoot 3-pointers and layups. That's it. You're not gonna post them up anymore the way that you used to. You're gonna be more light on your toes. Come on now. So boxing, when you age, there's a big impact in how you can make adjustments. Floyd Mayweather, the greatest of all time, was able to make adjustments. Great elite level fighters can make adjustments so they can continue to fight. But if you're an average Joe, the adjustments that you're gonna make, you're still gonna be average, just a lot older and weaker and slow. You see, Floyd Mayweather can beat somebody 10 years younger than him. I fought somebody 10 years younger than me, I couldn't beat him. Shaggy, happy Monday, my G. Salute, brother. West Dusset. I'm in good shape for a civilian, but I get my ass kicked just training. Bro, and one phrase that I've heard before and people just don't understand it, and I've proved it to people. It's one thing to be in shape and another to be in boxing shape. West Dusset, 3-pointer versus getting clipped. You said that perfect, Jay Smith, but that's what I'm saying. At 25 years old, you driving in, trying to jump all on the center, all of that. But that's it, bro. If you still playing at 40, you talk about little step back and fadeaways from 3 and shit. There ain't no more driving in. But that's just the name of the game. That's just the nature of the game. Wes Dustin, I did MMA for years, Jay Smith. I started watching boxing because MMA fighters want to go back. I can't watch boxing without body hyping itself up. Let me tell you something interesting, man. When it comes to boxing, if you look at athletes who box and have money but decided to keep boxing, it's a lot of them. A lot of them. But remember what I said. Being in shape is not the same as being in boxing shape. Why? And I've proved it to people. Because you could be in great shape. You could be ripped. I've seen guys strong as hell. Okay, you strong as hell. Let's go to the gym. Come on. Yeah, nigga. Let's go. Come on. Guess what? They supposed to do 3 rounds of sparring. 2 minutes. 2-minute rounds. After round number 1. What happened, bro? That's only 2 minutes. I can't breathe. So you have to understand, boxing shape and just being in shape is different, because whether you're doing weight training, whether you're doing calisthenics, whatever workout you're doing to be in shape, if you're not throwing punches, no matter what shape you think you is and how ripped you think you is, 3 rounds of throwing punches, you're going to be cooked. Cooked. Because again, no matter what workout you're doing, even if you're grabbing your dumbbells and going like this, it's not the same as the entire coordination that goes for you to punch. For you to punch the way that you're supposed to, for you to punch, you have certain mechanics, right? You're standing a certain way. You're throwing your punches. You're throwing your combinations. You're making your movements. You step and you move into different. So no workout that you do is going to simulate everything that you're doing inside the ring, because there's a coordination of different things that are going on with your body, the way that your feet are moving, the way that you punch it, the way that you have to dodge punches, the way that you're blocking, the way that you're being hit, absorbing punishment. No workout prepares you for all of those movements. So as a fighter, yes, you do all these trainings to strengthen your body, but then you have to do boxing stuff, boxing drills to prepare your body for what you're going to do inside the ring. Grabbing a 50-pound dumbbell and going like this is not going to prepare you for shit. This is the reason why in boxing you see people who look ripped like that, ripped, and then they get beat up by a guy who don't even got no muscles. The guy with no muscles out there talking about pop, 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 pop. And the strong guy missing, throwing crazy punches and shit. So that's why you don't see that many fighters that are, like that. It's not about it. Look at Kurt Scooby. Kurt Scooby like this, we've been saying he's going to kill everybody. His last fight, he got washed. He got beat up. They beat him up, my people. And I was disappointed, man, because I thought he was going to win that fight. I thought he was going to win. But who he fought, Adam Azim? Was it Adam Azim that beat him up, my peoples? So skills pay the bills. We've been saying that. Skills pay the bills. Jay is in there. Leg strength is a key also. Super, super important. People don't understand the importance of the strength in your legs, and that's where your leverage comes from. They don't understand that. Wes does it. Mike Tyson said the 30-second videos he did hitting the bag made him sick for days at his age. Of course. That's why those videos was always real short clips, because he couldn't do that for a minute. He couldn't do that for 2 minutes. And I knew it. I tried to tell people before the fight. They wouldn't believe it. They didn't even see a video. A single round of Mike Tyson sparring, nobody saw it during the lead-up. A single round. It was a little clip here and there. Few seconds, and that's it. Wes does it. The Nate Diaz physique will have you fold. Facts. Because guys like that, they not spending no time in trying to have a chiseled body. They spending all their time on technique, on what they doing, how they gonna execute, how they gonna do you in. They not putting no time into that shit. None of it. And I'm telling you, in boxing, when you see a guy who's just fit but not muscular like that, versus going with the guy that's buff, yo, if you don't know any of them, usually the buff guys getting beat up. You see that shit all the time. Like, it'll be two guys that you never seen fight. One of them is 15-2, the other one is 16-1. And it's the buff guy like this and the guy that look normal. The normal guys stay beating them up. So muscle don't really mean anything, my people. Who you think is stronger because how they look, that's irrelevant. Jason has Jay Smith doing the Muppets voice. Sad. Speed and conditioning matters more. Speed and conditioning. That's why fighters, you see that these great fighters, they always have a great strength and conditioning coach. They got somebody that works on that. But take a look at, all these fighters and how they fight. Everybody's not fighting rock'em sock'em robots anymore. Everybody's not, I'm going to beat them up and that's it. Nah, wait a minute. Wait a minute, my peoples. Let's look at Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. Terrence Crawford boxed him. Stood his ground. Pam, pam, pam. And laced him up where he needed to. Uses his footwork where he needed to. Counter punch. You got to see everything. So it's not about, I'm going to just beat you up. It's about what you bring to the table and how you can do it. Wes does it. It's rare a built like Kid Austin makes it to the top. You're right. It's funny that you say that, but you're right. It could happen, but I would say he's the type of guy that has to bully his way to the top. Like, you see how he beat this guy, Tevin Farmer, his last fight? Beat him up. He got to bully his way to the top. He got to knock guys out. Because then when he runs into guys that he won't be able to knock out, he's going to catch some L's. He could be like a Mike Tyson. Bully his way up, but then you're going to find people standing their ground and it's not going to go that well. Wes does it. Wind and legs is everything. People underestimate it, bro. People think that it's just about your hands, and they don't correlate the legs with the hands. They don't understand that. Now, look, I'll give you an example. In my fight, in the second round, I fell. I wasn't hit. I wasn't pushed, anything. I lost my balance, slipped a punch, and fell, right? Here's something that a lot of people don't realize. When you fall to the ground, like it's a slip or whatever, and you get up, that takes somebody. That takes some out of your legs. Just imagine, you know, you're fighting, you're moving, you're doing like an exercise, and then you fall to the floor. That movement that you have to do to get back up, push your whole body weight back up, you feel that. You absolutely feel that in your legs. And I felt that. When I fell to the floor and I got back up, I felt that. In round number 4, my legs felt like jelly. My legs felt like absolute jelly. And I started feeling it. The moment I got up, I started feeling a little bit. Imagine if you start doing squats and then your thighs hurt from doing squats, right? I started feeling that type of pain. I got up, oof. And later on in the round and in the fight, I started feeling a little bit of pain in my thighs and my legs started feeling like jelly from getting up. So when you see a fighter go down, you don't even consider what it takes from his legs and how he may even have to adjust with the footwork that he's doing or how he's moving in the ring. Side, it takes a lot of energy to get up. That's something people don't consider. It does. West does it. Nobody had Shanghai over Jeff Lacey. I remember that build-up. HBO was rocking with Jeff.